Hello, everybody. Welcome back to PW IELTS and TOEFL Prep. My name is Vandana, and in this session, we are going to dive deep into IELTS report writing, and we are going to see how to write a high band score report if you are given a process or a diagram on the day of exam. So let's dive straight away into it. So let's get covered with the overview first. Now, on the day of exam, you are going to be given 1 hour for the entire writing module, out of which it is recommended that you keep aside 20 minutes for your report, that is task 1. Now, you are going to be required to finish two tasks on the day of exam. If you are taking academic IELTS, task 1 will be report and task 2 will be essay. If you are taking general IELTS, then task 1 will be letter and task 2 will be essay. Let's talk about report writing now, since that is our main agenda. Now, for report writing, the minimum word limit is 150. However, you should write a little more than 150. Somewhere around 160 to 180 would be a decent possibility. If you write fewer words than 150, that won't be a good idea. You won't get a good score in that case. Now, IELTS report writing, that is your academic IELTS writing task 1. In this task, you may get any kind of visual input on the day of exam. For instance, it can be a bar graph, it can be a line graph, maybe a pie chart, or okay, let's correct this. Right. Could be a pie chart, table, a process, which is something that we are doing in this session, or it can be a map. Another thing to understand is you may be given just one single visual input, maybe just a single bar graph, or you may be given multiple visual inputs, maybe let's say 5 pie charts under one single question, or you may be given a combination of different visual inputs. For example, it can be 2 pie charts plus one table. So be prepared for anything and everything for the day of exam. Moving on, let's understand the structure now in detail because your coherence and cohesion score depends on this. So the very first paragraph is going to be the introduction paragraph. In the introduction, we simply paraphrase the information given in the prompt. That means whatever information is given to us in the prompt, we rewrite that information. But we rewrite that in such a way that language changes. Meaning should remain the same, but language changes. That is it. We do not write anything else in the introduction. Then the second paragraph is your overview paragraph. Here we mention the most prominent features, as in the most striking features. In the case of striking as in important, in the case of process, we write a short summary of the entire diagram. And for that, we write 2 to 3 key steps as in major steps. And then we move to body paragraph 1. So here you will describe the initial stages of the process, and in body paragraph 2, you will describe the later stages. So it's very important to follow this structure. Let's get started now, and here is our question. So the question is about how bamboo fabric is made. Let's read this together. So the question says the diagram below shows how fabric is manufactured from bamboo. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Write at least 150 words. Now, this piece of information is common piece of information. This is written under every task 1 question. And this is our main question. This needs to be rewritten in the introduction paragraph with changed language. Now let's quickly analyze these figures. So there are 9 steps as we can see. The very first step shows planting of the bamboo tree, which is done in spring season. Harvesting is done manually in autumn. And then in the third step, it is cut into strips and there is some mechanical device which is being used for that. In the next step, these strips are further crushed to produce liquid pulp. And then the pulp is filtered in the next stage to separate long fibers from liquid. And then the separated fibers are softened using water and amine oxide. And then these fibers are spun to make yarn. and they are woven to make, and this yarn is woven to make fabric, and this fabric is used to convert, I mean, this fabric is used to make clothes like as it's shown in the image, t-shirts, socks, or so on. So that is the entire process, and you will have to analyze it like this in the first 2-3 minutes. Now, let's see the introduction paragraph on this. And here we go. In the introduction, we have simply rephrased the question. We are saying the given diagram illustrates the procedure that is followed to produce fabric from the bamboo plant. As simple as that. No fluff, very crisp paragraph. Now let's see the overview paragraph, and here we go. We are saying overall the entire process consists of several stages, starting with the planting of bamboo plants and culminating in means ending with. That means ending with weaving the material into fabric, that is later. So we are talking about this stage now. Weaving the material into fabric that is later used to produce garments. So like I said in the overview, we mentioned 2 to 3 key steps. That's exactly what we have done till here. And then we are saying the procedure involves both agricultural and industrial steps. So if you see, these steps are industrial and these steps are agricultural, that's what we have mentioned here. Now we will follow the sequence of events starting from step number 1, and we will follow the sequence of events and describe the first few stages in our body paragraph 1. Let's see how we have done that. Here we go. So we are saying in the initial stage, bamboo plants are cultivated during the spring season. Once the plants have matured, they are harvested manually in autumn. Manually as in no machine is used for this thing. Then the harvested bamboo is then cut into narrow strips using machinery. Third step done. Following this, the strips are crushed to produce a liquid pulp. So till fourth step, out of 9 steps, till step number 4, we have covered it in the first body paragraph. That means the remaining 5 steps we are going to mention in our body paragraph 2. Let's see how we have done that. Next step is filtration. And this is what we are saying. We are saying filtration, which separates the long fibers from the liquid, is subsequently carried out. Subsequently means after that. After that, filtration process is carried out. After the fibers have been extracted, they are softened by adding water and amine oxide. So this is step number 6. Thereafter, these softened fibers are spun to create yarn. In the final stage, the yarn is woven to form fabric, which is ultimately used to manufacture clothing items such as t-shirts and socks. So we have covered all the 9 steps in 4 paragraphs. Now, what you need to notice here is, especially when you are writing a report on a process, you need quite a few sequencers which have the same meaning as after that. So what are these sequencers that we are using here? We have subsequently, which also means after that. Then we are using the word after itself, and then we are using the word thereafter, and then we are using in the final stage. If we go back to the previous paragraph, how we were, okay, here we have the entire report. Let's take a look at body paragraph 1. So here for the initial stage, step number 1, we are using this phrase in the initial stage. And then once the plants have matured, they are harvested manually in autumn. The harvested bamboo is then, that means after that only. And following this also means after that. So if you see, if you were writing a report on process, you would need these linking devices, which mean after that, to keep the connection between your stages going. I hope this was helpful. And if you want us to cover any other topic for you, feel free to post in the comment section. I'll see you in the next lecture. Thank you very much. Bye bye, everybody. Take care.